flag with the gentleman right back. Signing on being a miserable experience is absolutely not how it could or should be. There was a time, we talked to some people going way, way back, when the job centre was actually a useful place where they might actually provide you with some useful information. It could be like that again. But what we've got to acknowledge is that, as you said, there's a million young people unemployed. We've got, in parts of the country, 20, 30, 40 people going for every job vacancy. It's absolute madness when David Cameron and his friends go, isn't it really terrible? You know, there's all those dole bludgers out there, all those people out there just trying to live on unemployment benefits and not trying. We have to really challenge that ideology, challenge that language. And as I said, talking about in terms of benefits, people need benefits. If you can't get a job, you need job seekers allowance, and you need a job seeker allowance at a level that's much higher than it currently is. Because £71 a week and even less for younger people is not living. It's very difficult to even basically survive on that. So ideally what we should do is change the whole ethos of job centres and lift that to a living level. In the longer term, the Green Party believes in what's known as a citizen's income, or a basic income. That takes a little... Okay, that takes I'm sure some people, this will be a new idea to some people in the room, so I'll take a little bit of time to explain it. Basically, we broadly now as a society, with a few dishonourable exceptions like asylum seekers, acknowledge that we're not actually going to leave you to starve. You will, if you jump through enough hoops, fill in enough forms, will get some basic level of subsistence. But actually, making me do all those forms and jump through all those hoops costs a huge amount of money. The great classic example of this is going around to the single mother's bedroom and seeing if there's any male shoes under the bed. Because that means she isn't a single mother, isn't it? It's absolute madness that the state does that sort of thing, and it costs a fortune. The Green Party believes in citizens' income or basic income, which would say if you're a member of this society, we accept that you should get enough basic money to live on, a basic income. After that, if you earn quite a bit of money, we'll get it back from you in tax. If you earn a little bit of money, you get to keep that little bit of money extra and you have a bit better life. But you're there, we're a wealthy society, we can ensure that you don't starve. And that you have a roof over your head. Those are basic principles that we as a rich country, as a civilised country, should provide to everyone without providing all those hoops and all those things to jump through. That's an interesting question, actually. Would other parties benefit if their leaders weren't MPs? I think they probably would, actually, because one of the things that would happen is you get to see the party leader standing in places like this, actually talking to people a lot more often than you do now. Lisa was saying to me that some of the other political parties on campus were asking her how she managed to get me here. That's quite simple. She came up to me at conference and asked. And I said, yes, politics needs to be a lot more accessible. And maybe if party leaders weren't MPs, that would be one small step towards it. On the vote for prisoners, yes, absolutely. We should only lock people up when we need to lock people up. And one of the things we shouldn't be doing is excluding their basic civil rights, of which voting is one of the most basic of them. And pretty well everyone who's now in prison, we are going to let out sooner or later. And we need to do things that keep them hooked into society, that make them feel like they've got a stake in society. And being able to vote is one basic way of doing that.
Yeah.